Coach, when you look at this Pistons team, what are some of the challenges that they present? As you know, when you're going through a streak or going through some tough times, you could be, as hungry as anyone.
Well, I think it's a very good basketball team. That their record does not show that in the moment, but they play hard. They're in every single game playing the right way. I think Monty's done a great job of trying to teach and help these guys continue to get better. And Cade is playing at a high clip right now, and then getting Bogdanovich back for the last couple games changes the way in which they play.
Yeah, we saw Jonathan and Jalen listed as questionable. How will they be for tonight?
They will not go tonight, so we will not have Jonathan. We will not have Jalen for tonight.
How does that change your starting lineup and in addition to your rotation throughout the rest of the game?
Well, we've said this from day one. It's going to be a next man up mentality. We'll do it by committee. So whoever decides to get that nod that we go with tonight, we'll have to step in and continue to do the things that we're asking to do, particularly on the defensive end of the ball, getting into the basketball, defending without fouling, rebounding the ball, and getting out and being able to push the break on offense.
The team's obviously been going through some injuries already this season. How have the guys kind of handled that, and as kind of injuries being mounting, everyone's kind of dealing with something at any point in the season. But how do you kind of handle that? You said next man mentality, obviously, but how do you guys continue to handle that?
Well, the beauty of this group is that they've been together, and so we've been through injuries before. We've been through nicks and bruises, and so they understand like the next man has to be available and ready to go. So when you're called upon, you're ready to do your job. It's not a woe is me mentality. It's okay, I have an opportunity to step in and step up in this moment.
With Jalen, obviously guys were able to get back here and kind of maybe better diagnose the injury. What's the severity of that injury? Is it something that could keep him out for a little bit longer, or is it just kind of see how he is game to game?
I think we're going to continue to see how he is game to game. I think that's the most important piece with he and J.I. and having them fully healthy is the most important piece for us as we continue to move forward.
When you look at that, obviously this team's in a little bit of a different position in the standings maybe. Mm-hmm. Does that play a factor in making sure guys are ready for a stretch run in February, March, April, as opposed to like, hey, we need to keep banking up wins now to keep pace? Is that a factor in determining how long guys are out?
No, not at all. I think what we need to do is play our style of basketball, and obviously as guys come in and out of the lineup, we're going to continue to have days of building continued continuity and chemistry, just because it's going to look different. And so being able to find that rhythm within different groups on the floor is what's going to continue to be important, no matter who we play and what time of year it is.
With Markelle, is there a concern that he could be out for multiple more weeks, or what's the timeline for Markelle?
Well, that's why we don't necessarily put timelines on things. It's so important that we just continue to monitor how he is day to day, checking how he responds to each different treatment, different programs that we're putting him through. I think that's one of the most important pieces for us with him.
As you look back at Paolo's performance the other night, what stood out about him? I mean, he seems like a guy who could score and put up those kind of numbers, but he really takes what the opposition's giving him and kind of plays the right way regardless.
You hit it right on the head, Dan. I think he's looking to play the right way to figure out whatever it takes for our team to win that night. It happened to be more scoring in that game, and his level of confidence continued to rise as that happened. And obviously we went 2 for 23, missed 10 free throws, didn't defend well in the first quarter, but where he was from a confidence side and his approach and attacking the basket, it was good to see, and that's what he's capable of doing.
You mentioned the 2 for 23 performance. When you break that down, did you like the looks that the team got, and how do you make sure that the team is still confident, like, hey, we're getting good looks? I know you guys aren't a heavy three-point attempt team, but you were getting good looks. You got to keep taking them and trust the ball.
You have to keep taking the shots that the defense gives you, because now if you don't take it, you've now put yourself in a different situation, and that's where turnovers happen, because you're trying to force the game. And I think if they're giving you the wide open looks, you have to sit down and be confident enough, which our guys are, to take them. Some nights you're going to make shots, some nights you're not. And this is why we continue to talk about making sure our defense stays the same regardless of what's happening.
How important is it going to be to get off to a faster start offensively tonight?
I think it's more important that we get off to a better defensive start. I think that happens is that our defense will create our offense, because then you're getting easy looks. When you're not getting things going defensively, it kind of puts a strain on your offense because you press a little bit more. I think our guys have seen that and understand that, so now sitting down and guarding, putting pressure on the basketball, defending without fouling, rebounding the basketball so you can get out on the offensive break.
And I know Jett Howard just recently got called up from Osceola, got some good reps there. With Jalen Jonathan out, is there a potential spot for him to maybe crack into it?
That's going to be a major feel for the game, to seeing how the game is going and getting the read and what the flow of the game is saying to us and our staff.
What growth have you seen from Jett now that he's able to practice with you guys again with some playing time under his belt?
Well, I think he just understands the pace in which he has to go through things. He's still in the building early, still working late, still talking to the coaches. So none of that has changed from his body of work and his professionalism. That's always been there. I think now he's just realizing what it looks like in real rep time, especially with the G League being such a higher paced game as well as a higher scoring game. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
What are some of the challenges that this Pistons team presents, even though they're going through a bit of a tough stretch?
They're hungry. They want to get off their skid. It's 18 straight games. So, human nature is they're trying to do anything they can to, get back in the winning column. But, we're in the same sense. We dropped 2 in a row, so, we're trying to get back in that winning column as well.
You guys aren't too far removed from being a team that's gone through a stretch like that in prior seasons. What's going through your mind? How hungry do you become when you're going through a stretch like that?
I think really hungry. I was just thinking, it's just like, you look at it, they lost 18 straight games, but it's like, they've been in most of the games, so just figuring out how to win. And we know how hard it is to win in this league. So just, you understand they're trying to figure out that process, and that's the process we're going through right now as well. We're still trying to figure out how to win. We had our 9-game win streak. Now we lost 2 in a row, so now we're trying to figure out how to get back on that win streak. So just, understanding, the history, like how we got to this point, where we're at right now, all the work we put in, and, understanding, don't take this for granted because, they're trying to win just as badly as we're trying to win.
Coach just said that Jalen's not able to go tonight. Does your mindset change at all when you might be playing extra minutes
Yeah, I gotta get a little bit more rest, just to be ready, be prepared. But just at the end of the day, it's our standard is doing the things we need. We know our team standard and what we have to do, and that's regardless who's starting, who's coming off the bench. We know how we have to play as a team and just continue that continuity. No matter who starts.
With all the injuries you guys have already faced this year, with Wendell and Markelle also being down, how much has the team's continuity helped you guys weather that storm and kind of keep the same tempo, keep the same kind of tempo?
I think it's been huge. We went through injuries last year. Injuries are part of the game. It's unfortunate, but every team has to deal with injuries. And so it's just like, being prepared, and being able to control what you can control. You can't control who gets hurt. You can't control how long they're going to be out. But you can control the focus that everybody comes in and is available to play, brings in each day and each night, and just continue to believe and trust each other.
I know there's a chance for you to play more minutes with Anthony Black in that backcourt. What have you seen from him so far in his rookie season and your chemistry with him on the ball?
I've been seeing all the work he's been putting in, just seeing him grow up in real time. I don't know if he expected to be getting this much playing time on a team that's being so competitive right now, but he's embracing the challenge. He comes in to work every day. He listens. He competes. He has fun when he plays. So it's a joy when we all get to share the court with AB.
We all kind of saw the box score of the shooting on Wednesday night. How did you guys kind of look at that, or how do you guys kind of respond to having a poor shooting night as a team?
It goes back to our core principles, and it's our defense. Defense has been the reason why we're able to win games. So, hanging our hat on the defensive end and be able to lock in even more, regardless if shots are going in or going out, or not. You can't necessarily control that. Everybody who shoots is trying to make it. So it's like, we can't let that affect us on the defensive end, because in the day, as long as we have our defense, we'll have a chance to win every game.
Good deal. Thanks, Derek. Spend some time with Osceola. How did that experience go for you, and what were some big takeaways from that time?
It was great. I had a lot of fun. Just going down there playing with a great group of guys. They have a lot of firepower down there, so it was just more like just learning from them. they're older, they're more experienced, so just buying into the team first and just learning.
What do you think you can take away from that experience, playing extended minutes, getting a lot of looks, getting a lot of shots up?
Probably just getting used to the league, like it's fast paced, and just trying new things out that I've been working on over here. Obviously, I have the ball in my hands a little bit more down there, so just experimenting like that, and I obviously play like that in college, so just having fun with that, honestly.
What did the coaches, say to you when maybe first went down there? What did the coaches here say they wanted you to kind of get out of it? Was it just about like getting out on the court and getting some playing experience, or was there something more specific that they were looking to see from you?
They just want me to go down there and play my NBA game, honestly, and just play the right way, play hard, play smart, and not have any drop off. That was probably the biggest thing I took.
The last game that you were a part of, I saw it up post. You guys were down big but came back. What did you learn about that? Just staying poised in the game and staying locked in all 48 minutes.
We knew in this league anything can flip in a matter of a few minutes. So just staying with it. We had enough talent, firepower to come back. I felt like so we didn't want to not stay composed. Trevor and Queen was a leader in that moment, and Mie and those guys kind of rallied us up. So.
Did it help working with guys like Trevelyan, Mie, Brandon Williams, who you worked with in training camp for a little bit?
For sure. Those guys are good guys to follow, super professional, and they taught me a lot.
What are your impressions of Coach Dylan Murphy and how he was able to work with you?
He's great. We worked together in summer league together. And it's like working with one of these coaches over here. They're just also smart and so detailed with their practices and game plans. So it wasn't no drop off at all. Dylan's great.
I know like everyone kind of talks about how there's like a synergy between the Orlando Magic and the Osceola Magic. Did you really feel like walking in there is the same as walking in here as far as what you're running and what the kind of the expectations are?
Yeah, kind of. It's always a little different, but I'd say for the most part it was the same as far as expectations. We had like most of the same principles, defensive principles. So just playing fast. So you can say that.
What has impressed you most about what's going on here in Orlando? I know 2-game losing streak, but part of that big winning streak. What have you seen from the guys the past couple of weeks?
Just like locking in. No matter if we win or lose, it's the same. Everyone's just locked in and focused on the win. And, no matter the outcome, they're gonna play hard. So that's probably the most common thing.
Thanks.
No problem.